They were very appreciative, and everybody we ran into out there was really great. They were all smiles, and the kids are great, running around and holding your hand and walking around with you and everything. So it was a good experience for the Marines. I dealt I was on the ground walking for a lot of the deployment in 2003, so I got to deal with the local populace quite a bit, and the Marines at that point on that second deployment hadn't had an opportunity to do that. So that was really good for them to get outside and get a chance to do that.
Yeah, now, on the run-up to Baghdad, so that was pretty historic and pretty quick. But you would have been a first hand. We heard all about it, needless to say, from the feeling and the attitude of the troops as they were moving in, and the soldiers as they were moving on.
There was it was definitely a singular experience. The smells and the thoughts that go through your mind are different than they are on a deployment like I am now, where you're more static and just kind of doing your mission every day. Was happy to be there. I wouldn't say necessarily happy to be there, but definitely happy to be in the unit we were in and being part of that mission. So all the dangers involved, every individual Marine always deals with that in whatever way that they're best equipped to. It did go really fast though. We were actually in a cement factory in downtown Baghdad. We had taken that over and were kind of holed up there, and we had a sergeant major that came up about 2 weeks after we were there and told us the whole shebang was over. The big push-up was over, and we were unaware of it at that time. So that was pretty cool. We kind of outrun our information chain. So that's how quick it went.
Yeah, definitely. That was kind of the case also in reporting. We hear that you were at point A, but you were already at point B.
Yeah, we were definitely moving. We were moving along fairly well.
Now, what happened? Did you get to Baghdad or close to Baghdad, or where were you when the regime fell?
We were with 1st Marine Division, Regimental Combat Team 1. So we were there for from Kuwait all the way up to Baghdad, and then a few different people from our unit, a few different Marines from our unit went up a little bit past Baghdad. But then once we were there, we stayed in the city for a few weeks until there was a little bit of stabilization in place, and then we started getting ready to move out of country, or retrograde was what we were calling it then. I think now it's redeployment. And we were moving out of the country, and we'd sort of leapfrog. We'd go back towards Kuwait, several miles, and then we'd go a couple days later, we'd actually go back towards Baghdad a mile. So like 2 steps forward, 1 step back towards going home the whole way. And then once we got outside of An-Naziriyah, which was a fairly rough neighborhood while we were there, we got onto Talil Air Base that we had taken over there for a period of time. And after that, we stayed there stable for, I'd say, about a month or so, and then we shot out of country after that.
Yeah, I bet you were glad to beat it out of town after that.
I'm always ready to get home. I've deployed enough times and for long enough to know that there's no place I like being better than the United States and California. So every time I leave, Japan's great. I love that, the sights and sounds of that country, and there's definitely interesting things to see here and in Iraq and Germany and the other places I've stopped in. But I definitely realize that there's nowhere I'd rather be than back in the States.
Now, when are you going to be back for your next move?
I'm hoping to get home around early springtime. So my wife is speaking to my family, that my sister and her family that actually live there in Santa Clarita, and she's got their phone number, so she talks to them every so often, and we're planning on taking a road trip when we get back, and I'm going to take however many days they'll let me take when I get home, and head back up we're gonna drive from where we're at Camp Pendleton all the way up the coast, stop in Santa Clarita, stop in the Bay Area probably, and just head up north and maybe east, and then back down to San Diego to Camp Pendleton. I'm actually slated to go to Okinawa again, to Japan again for 3 more years. So we want to see a little bit of the States before we have to take off again.
Roger that. Now, your other assignment deployment to Okinawa was to what?
I was with 9th Engineer Support Battalion. So they're actually part of the unit I'm with right now. They're the larger unit that we're with. We're sort of a branch of it, and they're part of that same tree, so to speak. So the 9th ESB unit, the unit from Okinawa, went back home already, but the unit from the East Coast is out here now, and it's engineering mission strictly. So you do a lot of road construction, demolition. It's a lot. It's the same amount of essential as far as mission accomplishment, I think, as what we're doing right now. It's just more fun for us as engineers because we get to knock buildings down and build roads and stuff like that. So it's pretty fun. You get to push a lot of dirt around. Basically play with Tonka trucks, which you can't beat that.
And so when you go back for your next deployment, what will your assignment be?
It'll be that right there. Probably a lot of like route clearance, going around, finding IEDs and clearing them out, clearing different routes for us. Probably a lot of road construction. So there's the infrastructure here is fairly low level. So the engineer battalions do a lot of road construction. Every now and then we get an opportunity to build schools or orphanages, stuff like that. So it'll be a pretty diverse mission, but it'll be all engineering, and my piece of that and my Marines piece of that is usually the horizontal construction part. So construction of the foundations.
Gotcha. Now, in civilian life, what was your training for this, or did they train you after you joined?
I got most of my training after I joined, as far as my military occupational specialty of being an engineer equipment operator. I worked several different construction jobs, but it was more of labor or finish work in the house type of thing, so I didn't really do a whole lot of what I do now. As far as the shooting side of it, my dad, growing up in Sand Canyon out there, I mean, you could pretty much, we had a lot of land behind our house. We only owned 3 acres behind our house, but it was right butted up against some national forestry land, so nobody else was really out there. My backyard was however many thousand acres because he picked a good spot. So, and all the families out there shoot and ride motorcycles and stuff, so we were always out shooting.
Gotcha. Speaking of your dad, you mentioned that he served in Korea, but he had another family member, one of his brothers, served at Guadalcanal in World War II. Is that correct?
It was actually, well, his brother went to join up, didn't make it through boot camp. He actually got injured in boot camp, but we had my great uncle on my mother's side, so I've got it from both sides of the family. He served on Guadalcanal, and he died out there actually. And then my father's other brother was in the Army during the Korean War. He wasn't a Marine, so he was kind of the outcast. Everybody else on my side of the family has been in the Marine Corps.
But now your wife was in the Air Force for 6 years. That's the according to your sheet. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct. She actually did what I do. She was a heavy equipment operator, so it was pretty cool. She was a really small, petite lady, but she'd get on the biggest piece of gear and just kind of, manhandle it around and tear it up. She always used to comment that she was a lot better operator than I was.
What's her name?
Lisa Kaiser.
Okay. And she lives in San Clemente now, right?
Yeah, she lives there with me at Camp Pendleton. It is in San Clemente.
Got it. I have family in Carlsbad, so I'm familiar with the area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a nice area out there. We actually like to go to, if you're ever out visiting There's a really good Italian restaurant out there. It's delicious. We go there for our anniversaries. It's sort of a treat for us. So yeah, we do go to Carlsbad at least once a year.
What's the name of it?
Vigalucci's, right there on the coast. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, my family is, my wife's family is a big Italian family, so that, we've been there several times. Anyway, now you and your wife have a couple of daughters, right?
Yes, we do. I've got my oldest daughter, Nicole, and my youngest daughter, Lillian. One's 13 and the other's 5.
How old are you?
13 and 5.